they basically got lazy, I think, and they stopped experimenting. Sonic's series has always been about experimenting, so I think that's where we're going wrong right now.
Well, we've mentioned it too. The last game that was actually like this was Sonic 06. Sonic 06 did play like this.
Yeah, it did.
But we know how that turned out with everyone. So.
Well, it's actually because the game itself was largely broken.
I know.
Like, they just didn't finish the damn thing. They rushed it out too much.
Well, that's what I mean.
Even
like,
another year, maybe 6 months.
Regardless of, you know, like, looking back on it now in hindsight, like, what the reaction happened, and I feel like Sega was like, well, it's over. Let's change it up.
I think Unleashed was a good response to that. Not what it did to the characters and to the storyline. It just didn't do it. Not that, but I think the gameplay was a good response to that at the time. It made sense, but we just kept doing it. They wanted to be safe.
Oh no! My power is going down.
Oh my goodness. Oh no, in the beginning.
Okay, that was funny.
You didn't hit a checkpoint?
Apparently not. I didn't get far enough, I guess.
Oh no, my power is going down. But I think they should just kept doing things. Like Unleash was a good move, but now they're trying to be safe, and that's the problem. They're trying too hard to be safe instead of having fun.
Well, that's the problem that Mario is in too. Like, I don't know, like, I've looked into it a little bit, but there's some, the big thing that they, because people have literally been making essays and video essays on the topic of Nintendo, right? Like, everyone knows that something happened, something changed, and they've even given it definitions and stuff. But essentially, like, in the GameCube time of Nintendo, they were doing cool stuff, you know, weird stuff, new stuff, and they were being serious with it, and they were having fun, like you said. And then when the Wii came along, it just became bland again, and milquetoast and safe, and they were just going back to the status quo, and it got boring again. It was like Nintendo stopped being like, for Nintendo standards, Nintendo was kind of edgy in the GameCube time with some stuff. And then they went back to being boring old, like sometime after the Wii came out. And I think it has something to do with like Reggie and Iwata, their positions kind of changing, and then Iwata passing away at a certain point. Like, the direction just kind of changed, I think. Miyamoto's even given comments on that too. Miyamoto himself has said some things that I don't agree with, but you know, I guess it's just what he wants to do with his stuff. I guess that's fine, but you lose people who want your more interesting stuff. But Miyamoto himself even mentioned that, like, he has certain characters and franchises to deliver certain kinds of themes, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, Mario, for example, is just your basic milquetoast kind of guy. It's pretty much what he said, like, but in a nicer way. Well,
but here's my problem with Mario, okay? Because I think I mentioned this to you a little bit before. A character can be damaged by their image, their legacy. And with Mario, when I was a kid, I saw Mario as like my dad, like a regular guy. You know, he does stuff. He has life. I guess that's his woman. That's how I saw him. As a kid, this is what he was. But you can't say that anymore when you see, like, for example, this morning when I woke up, I looked at YouTube, my YouTube account, and the first thing that pops up is this Mario in a golden lion suit on all fours. And I'm like, what's he trying to be, supersonic now? He's got like the hair going up and everything. I'm like, come on, man. He looks weird. It looks weird. It's weird. Why are they doing this? Like they're ruining Mario's image because they have him in a new pet suit every week now.
Yeah, I don't
He's like,
understand
he's like
fetish.
what is he, a furry now? Like, what are we doing?
Well, people have made that joke.
Well, it's true.
But, like,
it's weird.
Take a really good example, since the only GameCube Mario game you played was Sunshine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Paper Mario.
Yeah, I didn't play that.
Paper Mario is the perfect example that, to this day, is still an integral part of like people's perception with what's happened with the Paper Mario series in specific. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door on the GameCube is considered one of the best RPGs ever made.
Oh, I see.
And it is. I've played through that game maybe 10 times at this point. It's so good. And the funny thing too is like, in that game, you actually go out of the typical Mario setting. So what I thought made it so cool was that you're essentially not in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore. You're in like the ghetto of the Mushroom Kingdom. Literally, like everywhere you go, they push it as far as they could for a Mario game to imply like thieves, drug dealing, like murder.
Wow.
There's literally a chalk line of a dead guy in the game. There's the town symbol is a noose. It's a gallows. That's the symbol. That's the centerpiece of the town is a gallows. And the whole game is Mario. And it's funny because the whole game is Mario being the honest, good guy that he is, and everyone is this shady piece of shit that you got to deal with, and that you usually end up beating up. And the whole game is about you treasure hunting too. It's not even like you're just saving Princess Peach again. Like that ends up happening, but really you're there to treasure hunt. Like you're on this treasure hunt to like get these gems and like go into this ancient ruins and stuff. Like, it's so cool. And all your traditional Mario characters are there, but twisted into like representations of real kind of different people. So you have Toads, you have Koopas, you have Bob-ombs and stuff, but they're all like depending on where you are. If you're in the ghetto, there's like gruff looking ones, and then you go to this really posh place too, like that's like super rich people and everyone there's like really like stuck up and stuff.
I had no idea that Paper Mario was anything like that actually.
Only the Thousand-Year Door is like that. The original one goes into it a little bit, but the original one is still kind of like your classic Mushroom Kingdom setting, but it still has special characters, but it still has that cookie cutter gloss or that, but it's still better than all the bullshit that came out later. But yeah, no, Thousand-Year Door was, they really just like went all out, and they're like, alright, Mario's in the ghetto now, someone steals his wallet, like that happens. you get involved in pretty much like, I don't think it's illegal underground. No, because it's broadcasted. But you pretty much get involved in a blood sport, like Running Man or something. Like you get involved in a blood sport arena where it's just like people fight each other and you like go up the ranks and stuff, and you gotta take out the champion because his champion's belt has the jewel on it that you need.
Yeah, sounds fun.
So dude, I love that game. It's so fun because it actually like
I'm Rouge the Bat, but you can call me Rouge.
it actually does like cool stuff with Mario characters and everything. everyone is unique. Even in the ghetto town where the main hub is, there's one side that's like a little bit nicer. It's like where the normal people live, you know, just normal characters, you know, they're not bad or anything. But then on the other side of town, it's just like graffiti everywhere, walls broken down, like thieves hiding in the corners and stuff.
I will go in first and distract the military.
Oh, and
allowing you
they even have Playboy bunnies.
being detected. Then
Wow.
To the point where in the American version they actually censored it. Where-
You're always the lame version.
Yeah, they censored it to where they changed the bunny ears to cat ears. So it's still like,
Oh, I guess it's not so bad.
yeah, you still know what it's implying. Cause that was my first thought. I was like, oh, okay.
13 minutes.
Yeah, they literally have booze that work for the mafia. That's the other thing too. The mafia is a significant plot point.
I think it's Kyle's.
Oh, is it your turn? Kyle?
The Eggman again? Didn't we just play Eggman?
Hmm?
He's got too many.
These are the funnest levels, man. You rip through everything.
Now it's your turn to play Shadow Knight, right?
Thing?
Or is it Rouge's level?
Rouge is next. Oh, I played
Come on. Oh, come on.
I want to do at least one Shadow level too now.
Alright, well.
It doesn't have to be the next one.
No, it's okay.
No, I'll do the Rouge one. You do the next
I just don't
one.
feel like
I'll
doing the
do.
Rouge one.
Hey,
No, I'll do this Rouge one. It's fine.
that was optional.
Sweet.
I think, because it was just in the wall there. Or maybe not. You might have to get through here.
I don't know if they let you find the optional ones earlier. I feel like
You can, but no, you might be right. You need the whistle to get the optional one, don't you?
No,
yeah, not
some-
always, but I think you need one in a level. Like, let's say in the past level you need this to go get it.
Right.
They do stuff like that on
yeah.
purpose. So you have to beat it the first time around to go get the optional stuff.
Make you keep playing the game.
Not a bad idea, honestly.
Yeah, dude, no.
Have you tried slow descent using hovering?
Yeah.
I've wanted
Having
to,
weird nostalgia right now. I don't know why.
I want to do, Thousand Year Door as a recording once. Yeah, man, you'll see the difference, and that's, people talk about Thousand Year Door all the time. Like, in the game's 20 years old now. People never stop talking about it because everyone was always like, "When's the next one coming out? When's the next?
make
Oh, you can
When's
get
the
it-
next Paper Mario coming out?" Yeah, they made more Paper Marios. They were all trash. They were all trash. They stopped being cool. It wasn't even as cool as the first one, which was still like your typical Mushroom Kingdom setting. Oh, come on. But yeah, they just started. It was all milquetoast at that point. That's when everything was milquetoast. Everything was trash and boring. Nothing was cool or interesting or exciting. Even though everyone loved Thousand Year Door. God, that's such a good game. Yeah, the Mafia, you run into the Mafia like 3 times. They become an integral part of the game to the point where you essentially become a brother in the Mafia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like you become part of the family, and that's
This doesn't
they
even sound-
Is
they
that optional?
This doesn't
No,
even
you
sound
have
like
to.
a Mario game.
you have to, and that's they use that
Mario
language.
Italian, it should happen.
Yeah, they use that language and stuff too. Like you get to the point where the mafia boss is like, "You're part of the family now." It's like you're pretty much just become involved with the
See, I didn't even
mafia.
know Mario ever even experimented that far.
Yeah.
I never heard any of that before.
You become part of the mafia because you need these like super special tickets to like ride these like luxury trains or something. And they're like, "Oh yeah, the only way you can get one of those."
kicking your butt?
Yo, why is it coming on to me?
He's ramming you.
So they were like, oh, the only way you can get one of those is if you like know the right person. So you go to the mafia to get one.
It sounds like, yeah, that's supposed to be Paper Mario's like Dirty Mario or something.
And it's cool because, like I said, the whole time Mario is still himself. He's still like this honest, wants to do good plumber. That,
He just gets involved in all this.
yeah, but he
like,
gets involved in all this crap,
and
and he has to
schemes.
beat up criminals and stuff, pretty much.
Tried a little harder.
The
Lost too
mafia
many
thing
rings.
seems almost natural for Mario, though.
And the
It's really
Playboy bunnies. So the mafia runs.
What do you think?
It's okay.
The mafia in the
Gotta do
game.
styro on
The mafia in the game runs a casino.
won't.
Ready? Shadow Rouge, on with the show.
What I'm trying to say.
The mafia in the game runs a casino. They also run a shop.
Part two.
The boos that run the shops have the cat ears. So the Playboy boos are also working for the mafia. Oh, in the nicer part of the town, like I said, that's where the mafia is. So it's like the mafia's influence is making that part of the town like nicer in general.
Funny how that works, right? I always liked how it's simple, but I always liked how when you play both the games, you get slightly different angle from what's going on.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel like all the things just described about Paper Mario is basically just a way of making the world seem real.
Yeah, they made it sound real. And the whole point was that like Mario wasn't in the Mushroom Kingdom anymore.
Yeah, wow, he's a win. What was that, Tails?
Next time, Fox Boy.
Yeah,
Talking trash.
boy.
Yeah, man, it's so cool. And then after that, they just did trash. Is there only like 3 or 4 shadows?
Only 4, I think.
There's the city, there's the highway, there's the forest,
And then there's
Space.
space.
there's the space.
That's it. I told you there's very few.
That's why I played Radical Highway so much.
But Shadow has the most boss fights. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Good way of making up for it.
Well, I think I don't know. It's one of the reasons I believe the whole like they added it in later.
Yeah.
I believe it. Doesn't mean it's true, but I do believe it because of that.
You know, postmodernism did get the Mario too sometimes.
Him being a cat suit gave that away, man.
Yeah.
Well, because think about it this way
First
too.
catsuit thing I saw.
Like,
Okay.
in newer Mario games, I guess they've
Grab the
been
Switch to go up.
I guess
Close it all
they've-
the way up.
I guess they've been back and forth on this, to be fair, but there's some times where, like, in the games, I'm like, Bowser is just like he's like a joke of himself. He's not like
hate that.
he's not actually scary. You're not
He used to
actually.
be, too.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Idiot, man.
Bowser, when Bowser's actually a serious
Oh, I
threat,
think I saw one.
when Bowser's actually a serious threat, that's when I like the game. And I don't think he's ever more of a serious threat than he is in the original Paper Mario, which is why I said the original Paper Mario is still good, even though it's a classic. It's not as edgy.
Is it in that cage? Oh no, it's on the wall. I see it.
that's
Oh, the other, yeah, that way. It's on the, yeah. Oh, I saw it.
that's the best description actually. The Thousand Year Door is the edgy Mario. The original Paper Mario wasn't edgy, but it still was creative and fun and had unique stuff, and it still had real things happening and real stakes, and Bowser never felt more like a real threat than he is in the original Paper Mario. In the original Paper Mario, Bowser essentially kills Mario. Like, he thinks he kills him. He thinks he's done. He thinks he's stopped Mario.
Mhm.
And because in the beginning of the game, Bowser essentially gets like the power of the gods, pretty much. Like he steals the Star Rod from Star Heaven, which like grants any wishes. So he just makes himself invincible, and he literally just like bitch slaps Mario and then throws him out the window to his
So
death.
it's all about getting enough power to defeat what's his name, Bowser.
Yeah, so the whole game,
Uh-oh.
you can't call into
You have to
this.
hit the switch to make him be able to
they're
get
off.
in. Yeah. Oh, that's not the
still
right
off.
one.
Wait.
Huh.
I think the
Forget how you do
the
this
switch
anymore.
should be around it, I think, in one of the holes,
Be quiet.
or it might not be in there. They don't all open.
No, you can make
No,
it
it's in
open.
there, but I forget how to open it. Oh boy.
Look,
Is
it
it
all
upstairs?
up there? It is upstairs.
It's upstairs.
That's
isn't
why
it?
it's the first place I go always, I think.
No, yeah, you
You
gotta
have a
hit,
routine of just jumping.
you gotta hit a
There's a
switch
smart
that
way to do
says
it,
B,
too.
I guess. Yeah, so the whole game is you as Mario, going about the only means
Oh
that
yeah, go through the lasers like a...
going about the only means that you've learned to possibly stop Bowser. And the only way that you learn is that essentially if you... Because
And this is the yellow one, yeah.
they essentially make it in the game that the only way to override like the ultimate power of the Star Rod is if you have all the lead... Hit the switch again.
Is it off now?
It's flashing. Hit it again.
No, they're open now. Their lights are on.
And then you get in.
Go down more. You have to aim to go down.
I
There
was
you go.
kicking my feet. Really?
Really? Yeah, no.
Well, what if I would have died? I would have been so sad.
It's happened before. To me, at least.
So the only way to
I'm gonna walk
override
like
the
man.
Star Rod is to have all the star spirits, which are essentially like pretty much like angels or gods in a sense, to come together to override the power.
Like me? I love it when she says that.
They're essentially the
Good
one.
job, Mitch.
They're the one check and balance against it. But see, like in Paper Mario, Bowser's not stupid. He does everything that he should do to maintain control. He gets the Star Rod and he imprisons all the star spirits. And even when Bowser learns that Mario is still alive and he's like trying to do this plan to stop him, the only thing that ends up being Bowser's undoing really is his hubris. Or yeah, because he believes that since now he's invincible, he doesn't even have to bother with Mario. So he just sends his henchmen to try to deal with them. Well, Mario goes through all of them. And then by the time Bowser realizes that Mario is actually a threat again in some way, it's already too late, you know? But nowhere in the game do I feel like Bowser was stupid. He was just...
Overly confident.
He just got... Yeah, and the game actually even says that. Because when you like first talk to the spirits who are telling you what to do to stop Bowser, they say he hasn't done anything else crazy yet. Probably because he's still so overly confident from defeating you.
I'm pretty strong.
Because they're essentially like saying Bowser could just do anything with this power, but because he was so like full of himself for winning,
He was taking his time.
yeah, they were like, you should do this now. Like you have little time. Once Bowser realizes, once he gets over this win over
He
you,
laughed.
he's gonna start killing everybody.
I think he was considering leaving in there. 'Cause
Now-
he kind of laughed at him.
Now Bowser's just like a joke at the time.
I don't like Bowser now. His laughing pisses me off. I don't like him now.
Well, that's the
What
other thing
word-
too. He used to be a beast.
Yeah.
His growl used to be literally like a beastly roar. Now it's like this granddad laugh. That's what it sounds like.